Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Down Payment Resource, Grow Your First-Time Homebuyer Business. Today, we're going to talk a lot about engaging first-time homebuyers in conversations about home ownership, and specifically doing so by talking about and broadcasting awareness of and the availability of down payment assistance programs. We're going to talk a little bit about the state of down payment assistance and what's going on with these programs today. We'll talk a little bit about the market opportunity that first-time homebuyers present, and educating buyers about down payment requirements as well as down payment assistance programs, which can help resolve down payment issues, among other obstacles that they might face when it comes to exploring home ownership. But the crux of the webinar today is to help you enhance your marketing, to expand your reach, and in particular, to look at how your peers across the country are using Down Payment Connect in order to do just that. My name is Sean Moss with Down Payment Resource. We also have in the background several members of our team. Veronica Kandawal, who is our HFA relationship manager. Marcy Ash is our director of strategic projects, and Will Medina is part of our data and analytics team, tracking and monitoring down payment assistance programs across the country and across many of your markets. They will be answering questions in the background. We encourage you to use the Zoom Q&A feature, and they will be getting to those live as we go. So keep it interactive. Let us know your questions, comments, thoughts, experiences with DPA programs or providers. And in particular, if you've had an experience recently with the down payment assistance program provider or program or a client using one of those programs, we'd love to hear that story and tell that story and potentially weave that into a case study. So with that, let's dive in. So a little bit about Down Payment Resource. We track and monitor all of the homebuyer assistance programs across the country. We'll show you a little bit more about the nature of those programs here in a moment, but we are also a matching engine to match your buyers and the properties that they like or are interested in purchasing to the down payment assistance or other homebuyer help that's out there for them. We integrate this technology into MLSs and property listing data. We will show you who our MLS partners are, because with those partnerships with MLSs, we also offer a number of tools for real estate agents that come sort of as part of that package. And then we also have a subscription tool. This is Down Payment Connect for real estate agents and loan officers who are not members of a partnered MLS. So we'll get to that and we'll talk about Down Payment Connect here. But big picture, ultimately, we are here to help you connect home buyers to the down payment help that they need. And that leads us to a little bit about these programs and then how they are being utilized and how this topic is being utilized to open the door to more conversations. So of all of the homebuyer assistance program types that are out there, all of which we track and monitor in our system and keep tabs on, make sure that the information that we provide to you is current, accurate, and up to date about all of these programs. Almost 3/4 of them offer some form of down payment and closing cost assistance. So that's basically the whole left side here. Now, I'll come back to that in a moment, but we do track affordable first mortgage programs. Those can offer below market interest rates, higher LTV financing, mortgage insurance benefits, or other benefits. And those typically come from state or local housing finance agencies. We also track all of the available mortgage credit certificates. Those are tax credits. Now, we break down those programs as well as DPAs in another webinar dedicated to kind of the products here, the down payment assistance products and programs. There are some other programs out there that are less common that we track and monitor, but the crux of what's in Down Payment Resource and what is available to your clients are down payment assistance or closing cost assistance programs. Within that category, almost 2/3 of them offer deferred payments, meaning that you don't have to make a monthly payment on that program or on that debt, if you will, for some period of time or perhaps for the life of the first mortgage. Almost half of down payment assistance programs are forgivable, meaning that while it might not be a grant upfront at closing, over time or at some period in the future, that down payment assistance dollar amount becomes forgivable, or the debt is forgiven, the lien on the property is wiped out, and so forth. And 38% of all of these down payment or closing cost assistance programs are both forgivable and deferred. And then, of course, you have grants, which are true gifts at closing. And then, of course, second mortgages that are are repayable. So there are a lot of different kinds of down payment and closing cost assistance. That gives you a preview and enough information for us to keep moving forward here. And again, we break down more detail about all of these programs in another webinar, and we'll send you more information about that after this one. Now, we want to address one particularly common and pervasive myth that down payment programs are not available in my market. Well, every state has a state housing finance agency whose programs are available statewide in their respective state. And then there are regional or local programs all over the country that provide more opportunities, layering opportunities, additional incentives or unique programs across those various markets. But suffice it to say, there is literally no county in the country where there isn't some form of down payment or closing cost help, and perhaps even tax credits and affordable first mortgages, because every state has at least one state housing finance agency. So your market includes down payment assistance options, whether it is urban or rural, high cost or low cost, north or south, east coast, west coast, anywhere in the middle. Now, as far as down payment assistance programs and trends, every housing finance agency or state housing finance agency, and basically all local housing finance agencies, have stayed and remain open through the COVID pandemic in 2020, 2021. And in fact, many of those state housing finance agencies had record years in 2020 and in 2021. And for you loan officers on the call with us today, that's all purchase business. So while you're looking at refi volume potentially dissipating, and you're looking at referral partnerships and building up your purchase pipeline, down payment assistance programs, the buyers who use them and the realtors who serve them, is an avenue for purchase growth for you. Now, we also continue to see new state and local DPA programs continue to launch in markets all over the country. Not a month or a week goes by where we're not learning about some new program somewhere. So over 84% of all homebuyer programs are currently funded and active, and that's a pretty normal number. There is no, because some programs are seasonal, their funding is seasonal, especially at the local level. There's never a point where all programs are funded and active at the same time. So 84%, that's a pretty average number. That's reflective of a rather normal DPA market. And then, of course, homebuyer education is increasingly being done online over the last 2 years. More and more down payment assistance providers adopted online homebuyer education platforms and made them or allowed them as a way to meet the homebuyer education requirement. So all of this is simply to tell you that despite what you may have heard or what you may hear, and if you think about all the attention on down payment assistance and down payment help and solutions out of DC as well, down payment assistance is still available. It has not gone away, and it is not going away. DPA programs are here to stay. They're performing well, they're alive and strong, and they present a very unique and robust opportunity for you to expand your audience and your pipeline and serve more people, quite frankly. So let's think for a moment about the mindset of renters. They're trying to save for a home. Now we have inflation on the rise. That's a new trend that we weren't talking about a year ago. Many potential buyers or current renters doubt that they qualify or have misperceptions about down payment requirements and mortgage qualification requirements, or perhaps don't think that they have saved enough money and think they're going to have to continue to save for a longer period of time, but they want to stop renting. There are tens of millions of home buyers or potential home buyers out there right now that are mortgage ready, mortgage qualified, but they don't think that they can buy a home because they think that they need more down payment, or they misunderstand mortgage qualification and down payment requirements. So with that said, we all need to understand what home buyers are looking for guidance on. Navigating the home buying process, of course, is something that any first-time home buyer needs help with. They also need help getting approved for a home loan, understanding mortgage options, understanding down payment and closing cost requirements, and how to cover those obligations. They also need to know that when they're using down payment assistance, they have to complete a homebuyer education course most of the time. And then, of course, now we have, and we have for some time now, a very competitive, super competitive, bidding war kind of market with very limited inventory, and quite frankly, few, if any, meaningful solutions or measurable solutions on the horizon. So there'll be more talk about inventory solutions in future webinars from us. But for now, let's round out the renter perspective with some data that we think is of interest to you. This is from a study that we commissioned through the Urban Institute in 2018. So you might think this information is a little dated, but this at the time reaffirmed things that we'd heard for years. And we have since heard the same things. And we see this validated in study after study, report after report from all manner of other reputable and renowned outlets and resources. So part of this study about barriers to accessing home ownership included a survey of potential home buyers. These were renters. And when asked what the biggest barrier to home ownership was, 68% of them said it was the down payment. No surprise, been the case for a long time, continues to be the case today. When asked how much they thought they needed for a down payment to purchase a home, almost 2/3 of them thought they needed 15 or 20% more, or 15 or 20% or more as a down payment. We all know that that's just flat out false. You can get an FHA loan with 3.5% down, conventional 3% or 5% financing, VA or USDA financing at 100% LTV if you or the property is an eligible veteran or eligible rural property. So we all know these things, but that's not what this study was illustrating. It was illustrating the misperceptions that our potential clients suffer from. When asked if they were familiar with low down payment programs, more than 3/4 of those renters responded that they had little or no familiarity with low down payment programs. And that didn't even really mean down payment assistance. That was just in reference to, all the mortgage options I just mentioned, where you can get into a home for 3.5%, 5% down. So we put all this together with everything else we just looked at and paints the picture of a mortgage ready audience that wants to buy a home, but they're sidelined or they bench themselves because they don't know that this opportunity is within reach. So what can we do? And that's what we want to focus on the rest here is the fun, creative marketing side of what we can do to become that trusted advisor, to provide information that they may not get from other professionals that would like to serve them or would pretend to serve them. We want to help them prepare for the future. We want to be the people they work with because we served and educated them and kept them informed, and we know that they're going to tell their peers. So keeping all of that in mind, let's look at the creative side of what we can do. How can we help connect buyers to down payment assistance help, foster conversations about homeownership, educate these potential buyers, these qualified, mortgage ready buyers about solutions out there for the obstacles that they face or that they perceive that they face, like they think they need more down than they do, or qualifying ratio issues. There are a lot of different ways a down payment assistance program can help, but we have to start that conversation with these potential home buyers, and we have to meet them with marketing messages that address these concerns and these misperceptions in order to foster these conversations. So what we want to do is show you ways that can be done. Let's start first with our MLS partners. We have partnered with MLSs all over the country, and we have several more coming here soon that we'll be announcing, and we're excited about that. But these are our partners who have gone out of their way to ensure that not only is down payment assistance program data integrated into your listing data so that you can see if a property is eligible for any down payment assistance, but also which programs. They've also extended that to your clients. So if you're a member of one of these MLSs, you will see a down payment button that looks like a couple that we'll see here in a moment. And that will tell you that a property is eligible for down payment help. Your clients see that as well. And then I can't show everybody's dashboard here, but when you log into your MLS dashboard, if again, you are a member of one of those MLS partners of ours, you will see a link to down payment resource, which takes you to a dashboard offering additional tools, in particular, the one we're going to focus on today. Down Payment Connect is your own personal lead generation landing page that allows you to enable a DPA search for clients, prospects, consumers that come your way through social media, through your website, through email marketing, and so forth. And they can do a DPA program search where they want to purchase a home. If they want to account for any household characteristics, they can do so. But rather than see all the programs available to them and be connected to anybody else, They are connected to you and only you. So it is a lead generation tool. You're not buying leads, but we're giving you a tool with which you can generate leads in your own marketing. And they come back to you, express their interest in finding down payment assistance help and exploring down payment or exploring home ownership rather. So that's how you get to Down Payment Connect if you are a member of one of our partner MLSs. So let me back up here. Here are the partners. If your MLS is listed here, then when you log into your MLS dashboard, you will see something like one of these examples with a link to down payment resource. And once you go to your down payment resource dashboard, you'll see your Down Payment Connect link waiting for you, already provisioned, already set up, turned on, and ready to go at the top of that page, along with some marketing resources to help you get started. So graphics packages, customizable flyers, video tutorials, a social media training module, and more. And we'll show you some of that here shortly. But that is all for members of our partner MLSs. So you might be thinking, well, my MLS wasn't listed, or I'm a loan officer. Well, we have a solution for you too. If you go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC, as in Down Payment Connect, you can also subscribe for a very affordable price, a monthly, no obligation monthly contract here, and you get the Down Payment Connect suite of tools, just as if you were a member of one of those partner MLSs. And we're always happy to talk to more MLSs too. So if you're connected with the association or the MLS leadership, we welcome an introduction, and we're happy to talk to them about an MLS-wide partnership. Nonetheless, if you wish to take advantage of Down Payment Connect, you can go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC. And for real estate agents and loan officers, you all get a personalized landing page where consumers can come do that search for DPA programs. There's no limit to the traffic or the leads you can generate from your landing page. We provide the same marketing tools, graphics, flyers, social media training, and so forth. Loan officers, there's also a version for you that gives you a detailed directory of all programs in your state or states, as well as the ability to customize which programs display to the people that use your page, because of course you only want to be promoting and broadcasting those programs that you have access to or participate in. So that's all at downpaymentresource.com/DPC. And it's, again, a personalized landing page that lets consumers match themselves to DPA programs available in your market. So how are your peers leveraging that tool, or more broadly, just the topic or idea of down payment assistance to educate and attract new buyers, to help those prospective home buyers realize that there is a path to home ownership in front of them? This is the fun part. This is where we're going to get into examples of ways that your real estate agent and loan officer peers around the country are talking about down payment assistance, offering that Down Payment Connect path to a solution, and showing buyers what's out there for them. So I'm going to go through a number of examples here, and then we're actually going to look at some of them live, because in some of these examples, there's actually more to what you can see more to the page or to the experience than what you can see in a screenshot. But let me first walk through a few examples. And as we do this, keep in mind, what's going on my website, what's going on my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, what am I doing in email marketing, and how can I weave these ideas into my own marketing? That's the goal of this webinar today, is to give you some creative, fun examples of weaving down payment assistance and weaving down payment solutions into your marketing so that you can meet those eligible buyers, those otherwise eligible buyers, with the solutions, the information, and the knowledge that they need to continue discussions with you or pursue discussions about homeownership. So Brian here is in Atlanta. This is a screenshot of his homepage on his website. You can see that at the bottom, he's added a simple blurb, just a few sentences about down payment assistance, with a call to action that says click here. To the left of that, he's pulled a graphic from our graphics package, and that as well as the click here call to action are links to his Down Payment Connect page, where the consumer then goes on and searches for DPA programs in their market, connects to Brian, continues that conversation, and Brian connects them with his lender partners and so on and so forth, right? So super simple example right there on the homepage. Anybody that comes to his website sees that down payment help is out there, and he's offering them a path to find those solutions. Susan here, also in Atlanta, took this a step further, and rather than providing a link to the Down Payment Connect experience, which you can see here, she just embedded that on a page. Now she's built this page, she's used an iframe essentially. So she has added this option to her website so that consumers, when they navigate to this page, they're not leaving her website, they're just doing the Down Payment Connect search. And I'll walk you through this example live as well. But they're doing the Down Payment Connect search right there on her website. They can go through the entire search experience, find down payment programs, connect with Susan, and they're still on her site if they want to go look for properties or learn more about Susan or anything else. You could create a new page dedicated to down payment assistance and put that in your site navigation. I'll show you another example of this, but Angela here has just updated her website navigation, as you can see at the top, to include a down payment assistance option. And that this is actually still a page on her site. And she again has iframed the Down Payment Connect experience. So you do the search right there on her site. You still have her navigation, her site header, it's all still there. Email. Let's talk about email for a moment. Sal here has added Down Payment Connect to his email signature so that every email he sends out tells the recipient, or if it gets forwarded on to somebody else, tells that recipient, first of all, that down payment assistance is available, and it allows them to engage with that Down Payment Connect tool and figure out what's out there for them. So in this case, Sal is sending that out among a number of other tools included in his email signature. But nonetheless, everybody who receives an email from Sal also knows that there's down payment help out there. Now, that's just using this in your email signature. You could, of course, make the content of an email message or campaign include information about down payment assistance. And we'll talk about some kind of content campaigns here as we go. Leading up to that, let's open up the dialogue about video. So this is a team in Richmond, Virginia. They have added a page on their website that is dedicated to educating potential home buyers even more about down payment assistance. There's actually a lot more to this page, and we're going to look at this one live too. But they also went out on their own and produced a great video that talks about down payment assistance, what is it, and so forth. And the page goes on to explain various, qualifying criteria, things that impact one's eligibility for down payment help. But it's a great educational page. There's a lot of content there. And again, we'll look at that live here in a few minutes. Now, what about a checklist or an intake process? Think about that for a moment. What do you offer to new clients? Or what homework do you give new clients? What are they getting from you? What content, what material, what takeaways are they getting from you? What responsibilities or homework or tasks are they given as they start to work with you? This is an example from a broker in Austin, Texas. He gives them a 3-step checklist when they first start to work with him. And step 1 is find out what you can afford, including looking at down payment assistance programs and what's available to help cover the costs of down payment and closing costs. And then, of course, speak with a lending professional. Then they go out and find a home within your budget. So, excuse me. Think about your intake process, your intake materials, the homework that you provide or that you require of new clients, and think about how you can weave in and where you can weave in down payment assistance programs. Now, social media and campaigns. So we're kind of opening up 2 things at once here. So this is a broker in Texas as well. And when he first started out of the military, went to work in technology for a while, and then got into real estate, he started working with a lot of veterans, a lot of first-time home buyers. And one of the things he realized was that he was getting the same questions over and over from new clients, especially new home buyers. So what he did was create a campaign asking and then answering those common questions, because sometimes you don't know what to ask, right? If you don't know that something like down payment assistance is out there, you don't know to ask for it. So what he did was put together a drip campaign with the top 10 questions that he got from new clients, number 6 of which was, when you're researching homes, what's the best approach to look for down payment and closing cost assistance? So he addressed that question in part of that campaign. And you can also add Down Payment Connect to that so that those same people, those same new clients, have a path to find the down payment assistance programs available to them where they want to buy a home. And this is also an example of leveraging drip campaigns and content on social media. So this would be something that he would drip out to new clients over time as they started to work with him. That logic obviously could apply to your email marketing as well. If you're doing any email marketing to distribution lists or leveraging a third-party content machine and so forth. So sticking with Facebook here, let's look at another example of promoting down payment assistance, but kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. This is telling the story about a buyer who already closed and bought their home, but telling how they got down payment assistance, how you were able to help them. You connected them with your lender partner. In this case, they got permission to use a picture and names. This is a team up in the Twin Cities, and they helped Jasmine purchase her first new home and specifically got her $12,000 in down payment and closing cost assistance. So what we love about this is one of the best ways to engage an audience of future home buyers is by telling them what you've just done or just been able to accomplish with one of their peers recently. It's already been done. It's a success story. It's a case study. Sharing that with future buyers lets them know that, okay, yes, these programs are out there. Yes, this real estate agent, this loan officer, this team, this broker can help me. And in fact, my peers have already taken advantage of this opportunity through this realtor, through this broker, through this lender. So great way to engage future clients by telling a past story. And I want to point to one other thing here too. Look at the branding on this page. Across the top, you've got the broker, you've got the team, and you've got their mortgage partner. They've all partnered up to make this a seamless process. The real estate agents are attracting the attention of new prospects. They've woven in their lender partner to make sure that there's a seamless pre-qualification and approval process that includes discussion of down payment assistance and exploration of down payment requirements and cash to close. So another great marketing exercise: weave in your partners, co-market together, leverage your resources, and operate as a team. Now, video. We're still talking about Facebook, but now let's look at video as a way to create campaigns and content campaigns. So a couple things here. First, the main video on the page: how to find a lender that offers down payment assistance. This is that same team we just looked at in the Twin Cities. These are real estate agents who have partnered with and educated themselves about down payment assistance, partnered with lenders who are savvy with DPA, but also educated themselves about down payment assistance programs. And they've built their team. They literally built their business working with first-time home buyers and down payment assistance programs. So new agents would come on board, take in some of these leads they generate, work with these first-time home buyers, get to know DPAs. Great start to the business, and they've been wildly successful building their team in that manner. But look at the timestamp. It's a 1-minute video. Look at all the timestamps on the right. These are 1-minute videos. Look at the location. One is in the main one's in a kitchen. One is in the hallway. One's in the corner of a room. Get your personality out there. Get some answers out there. Beg some questions. Get buyers thinking about questions they may not know to ask, and then answer those questions. Keep it short. Keep it simple. None of these are Hollywood productions, but they get the conversation started and they get useful, meaningful, relevant information out there to the home buyers that either don't know to ask or aren't responding to your marketing because they think they need something or more than they have, and they don't know what questions to ask. Ask the questions for them, answer them, put it in front of them. And as you see here, keep it simple. We don't need Hollywood productions. We just need to get the message out there. Now, here's a team in Seattle, kind of like the team in Richmond earlier. They've also built a page under Advice for Buyers, which they've dedicated to the topic of down payment assistance. And in doing so, they have added all kinds of content here to help understand down payment assistance programs, to help educate them about various criteria that might qualify or disqualify an individual or household from DPA eligibility. And they actually go on, which I'll show you live, to add the Down Payment Connect search experience on this same page. Facebook ads. So we've talked a good bit about Facebook, video, drip campaigns. We've seen realtors put ads on Facebook that that basically are simple and drive consumers to Down Payment Connect or to other resources that are going to engage them with the real estate agent whose page they're on, whose content they're looking at. In this case, Marilyn is in Indianapolis. 2 sentences here. Quick ad, nice picture, drives people to a down payment assistance splash page that she built, which pumps them into Down Payment Connect. And in doing so, she's reaching more buyers, letting them know that down payment help is out there and giving them a path to find the programs available to them. Now, she calls that successful lead gen. And just to kind of drive home the point, she found a creative way that works for her in her market and in her marketing to maximize Down Payment Connect. She gets good leads, they respond, and they're interested. And that's what we want for everybody. Be creative, have fun with it. This is just one way, again. Instagram. So if you have an audience or you intend to grow an audience on Instagram, talk to your audience there, just as anywhere else, about down payment assistance, about down payment requirements, about the fact that homeownership may well be within reach, despite the fact that there are misperceptions out there preventing a lot of people from talking to you or engaging with you or reacting to your marketing. Use hashtags, use a tool like Linktree or something similar to add your Down Payment Connect link in your Instagram profile. This is just another example, right? Just another post from a realist. This is actually from a loan officer, and he's letting people know that there's down payment help out there. You can do your own search today to find out what's out there for you. Connect back with John in this case and get pre-qualified, explore your options, and start looking for properties. So with that, I want to take a live look at some of these examples. So I'm going to actually hop out of the slides here, and we are going to hop into the web here, and bear with me just a moment. Okay, so let's look live at some of these and a couple other ones I want to pull up that I hadn't shown you yet. And again, the idea is just what are your peers doing to push the message out there about down payment assistance, to engage new buyers, and to start those conversations. That's the key. What do we need to put out there to start conversations with more and new buyers? So we looked at Brian's example. Again, this is just his homepage. Scroll down the homepage. There's his bio. And there's the call to action telling people that down payment assistance is out there. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Excuse me. When I do, I'm on Brian's Down Payment Connect page. I can do a search here. He's in Atlanta. Let's do a search in Atlanta. I'm going to find out that there are maybe 15 programs for me. Anything I do is only going to Brian. So I'm going to click on Get Details. Now I can enter additional household information as a buyer if I wish to. Maybe I've served in the military. Maybe somebody in the household is a teacher and there are new opportunities. But we're not going to give them all the detail about these programs. We want to tell your client, your prospect, that there is down payment help out there and how many programs and how many dollars they might get. But they're going to reach out to you to learn anything more, and that's going to deliver a lead to you as soon as they fill out this form. And to reiterate, that lead goes to you and only you, whether you are a member of our MLS partners or you are subscribing to the paid version of Down Payment Connect. This is not dumping leads into a carousel. Nobody else is seeing them. They are yours exclusively. So that's one example from Brian. Now let's look at a couple others. We looked at a similar example here, but if you just want to add a link to your Down Payment Connect page in your site navigation, we saw an example earlier. Here's another one under the buy menu, down payment assistance. If I click on that, I'm off to Suncoast's Down Payment Connect page. Anything I do is going to go to Brad. Here's an example from another brokerage that kind of pitched down payment assistance programs and their ability to help you uncover those opportunities as game-changing service. So pitch that value, establish that value, or illustrate that value that you intend to provide as unique, because quite frankly, it may well be in your market. And you know, how many of your peers are offering this level of service and uncovering these kinds of opportunities for their clients? So one of the game-changing values they provide is how to save money on a home, how to find down payment assistance, how to uncover these opportunities. So if I click on their little homebuyer loan program wizard, as you can imagine, I'm off to their Down Payment Connect search, and anything I do here is going to go to Warren and his team, and they're going to help me navigate DPAs. Now, we looked at this example earlier as well. This is that team in Richmond. So we saw kind of the top part of the page, but I want to kind of dig in a little bit here. This is all under their guide to buying a home. They've got this page dedicated to down payment assistance. Now you can see they have a standard contact form here, but sometimes these buyers don't know that they're ready. They don't think that they're ready, and that's not enough. We need to show them a path to home ownership, and that's largely what this page does. Now they've got their video here. They produced that on their own. And then as we scroll down the page, you see all kinds of educational content about down payment assistance programs. Who qualifies? How do family finances impact my eligibility? What about home ownership history? What about profession? What about purchase price? What about location? And so all of these are just ways of letting consumers know a little bit more about down payment assistance programs and the ways in which they may be eligible for more or fewer programs, or more broadly, the ways in which certain criteria impact their eligibility. But as I scroll back up, let's take a look at this graphic. That's one link to their Down Payment Connect page. There's text here, program search. That's a second link to their Down Payment Connect page. There's another graphic here. That's a third link to their Down Payment Connect page. And if I engage any one of those, I'm going to Ronnie's Down Payment Connect page. I'm going to do my search, and Ronnie is going to help me uncover those down payment opportunities. Now, we also looked at this example here from Susan in Atlanta. She has a down payment assistance page. When you go to that page, you can just do your search right there in the iframe. She's framed the Down Payment Connect experience into her page, do the search, generate the lead to you, and they're still there on your website if they want to explore further. And then what if you want to combine a couple of these ideas? So education with the embedded search experience. So this team in Seattle, we looked at the top of this page earlier, advice for buyers, down payment assistance. They've added some educational content here, and I'll scroll through that somewhat quickly, but they've also embedded the down payment assistance search here. So once I educate myself, I scroll down, I do the search, and Gerhard and his team are going to help me explore my options. Now, I want to show you two other examples. What if you have a blog, or do you have a blog? Let us know if you do. But if you're trying to post frequently and keep the blog relevant and active, then you're also always looking for content ideas. Down payment assistance could be a single blog post. You could break that down, as you're seeing here today, into all manner of subtopics and continue to hone in on that message, reach an audience of potential home buyers with a consistent flow of value-added information about down payment requirements, mortgage options, down payment assistance, closing cost help, the benefits. You can break this down 6 ways to Sunday into all manner of blog posts. But let me just show you one. So this brokerage has a blog. They've blogged, in this case, about finding down payment assistance. There's a link to Down Payment Connect in the graphic here. The post itself is pretty simple, pretty short. There's an introductory paragraph, then what is down payment assistance? We actually have a video for home buyers as well. They've leveraged that here. And then they finish it with a process, some crystal clear steps. Click on the button below and do your search. Enter your household information. Get your results. See how many programs might be out there for you. And then come back to me. Let's talk about the results, and we'll get you connected to their best lenders who are experts in these programs and can get you pre-qualified. Great blog post, super simple. They leveraged our content. They used Down Payment Connect. We put a lot of stuff out there to help you guys craft messages like this. But blog is another way. Blogging is another way to reach your audience. If you're already doing it, you're looking for content, here's another great idea for you. And then I'll leave you with this super simple social media post. It doesn't have to be complicated. We've already seen a few examples. Shayna here is in Detroit, and she's got just a couple sentences. Down payment money is out there. Let's find it. Use my Down Payment Connect page to figure out what's out there for you. Here's the link. That's it. Simple message. Guess what? There's a path to home ownership. Guess what? I have a path right here for you. Use this tool, find your way, and let's talk about your next steps. So with that, let me kind of wrap this up and we'll get into Q&A here. So we took a look at a lot of different examples around the country of what your peers are doing, and all of it is aimed at helping you start more conversations with more buyers. Email, whether it's email content, email campaigns, your email signature, talk about DPAs, leverage Down Payment Connect, market properties that are eligible. So if you're a member of one of our partner MLSs, you know which properties are eligible for DPA. Market that, use that to win listings, use that to market the property. Facebook, ad campaigns, content campaigns, simple posts, one-off posts, same thing on Instagram. On your website, what are you offering in the way of education? What are you offering to combat or address misperceptions that your target audience might have about down payment requirements or about solutions to those obstacles? Have a first-time homebuyer section on your website. Have a down payment assistance page on your website. Leverage video. And again, it doesn't have to be a Hollywood production. Keep it simple, keep it quick, get it out there. And in the meantime, you're building up a library of reusable content. A couple other things here. Think about the DPA providers and the lenders that you might partner with. And let's kind of look at who your expert partners are. Look for the participating lenders that offer these programs in the details. When you get a lead from Down Payment Connect, click on any program. The first thing we show you in the details is who the participating lenders are. If you're a member of our MLS partners, click on DPR on a listing in your MLS. And when you open up the details of any program, again, the first thing we show you is who that program's participating lenders are. But those lenders are also great partners. And if they're on, you can chime in here, any loan officers, they're looking for purchase business. They're looking for referral partnerships, broker, real estate partnerships, builder partnerships, ways to increase purchase volume. Leverage that. Make sure that you align yourself with lenders that offer down payment assistance programs and are good at them and understand the characteristics of the programs they work with well. They close in a timely manner. Another misperception out there, DPAs don't have to delay the transaction. A good loan officer that knows what they're doing and is experienced with these programs also knows how to get them done on time, set expectations with all parties involved, and keep that transaction moving forward. The DPA providers themselves can offer opportunities to co-market, co-train, network, generate leads from events. They might be interested in sponsoring or participating events with you. Homebuyer lunch and learns, or things like that. Highlight information about local programs in your marketing content. So you can market the listings that are eligible, but you can also promote the programs. The DPA providers themselves may have some content ready for you to use, but nonetheless, if there are a couple of popular programs or programs that you and your lender partner work very closely or frequently with, promote those programs in your advertising. And then lastly, many, as we discussed early on in this webinar, many of these down payment assistance programs also require that the buyer complete a home buyer education course. That's typically 4 to 6 to 8 hours of essentially HUD certified content, teaching them about the home buying process, but as equally important, the home ownership experience and what to expect. That's a great, the event itself, the course itself is a great opportunity to connect with one of your clients, attend that course with them, and also at the same time, get a feel for the message and the dialogue and the content included in those courses, and weave that into your own marketing, incorporate that into your marketing, and bring that education to your clients as you're engaging with them in person, on social media, on your website, in your email content, and so forth. We have a group on Facebook called the Down Payment Insiders. These are real estate agents and to some extent loan officers, and even sometimes down payment assistance providers themselves all over the country that are sharing much of what you've seen today. Best practices, success stories, challenges that they faced with working with DPAs or finding lenders, and then solutions and how they overcame these obstacles. These are your peers sharing ideas like we've seen today all over the country. We encourage you to join in the Down Payment Insiders group. The URL here or the URL is here at the bottom of the page, and you could listen in, sort of fly on the wall perspective, listen in, watch what's going on, and absorb that information and those experiences, or share your own, educate, inform. Let everybody in the group know what you've done, or what obstacles you've faced, or what unique scenarios you've found yourself in, and how you got you and your client and your partners through that. So we encourage you to join the Down Payment Insiders. And I'll leave you with a couple of quotes here. I'm not going to read these verbatim, but Amber in Florida was new to the business, found that a lot of her peers were looking to purchase homes, but weren't getting the attention or education they needed from loan officers and real estate agents, in particular about down payment requirements and the help that's out there. So she took it upon herself to educate herself about DPAs, align herself with lenders that offered these programs, and she's built her business accordingly. We also saw some examples from Raul here, a broker in Texas. He thought there had to be a better way. He was trying to serve veterans, and he found ways to help them navigate the home buying process, including educating them about down payment requirements and help that's available. So take those along with everything else and hopefully build some creative new processes in marketing. I want to come back to our list of MLS partners, and I realize in the moment that California Regional MLS is not listed here. It was in the previous slide. They are a partner, our newest, in fact, and we have several more that we'll be announcing in the coming weeks. But if your MLS is listed here, you have access to not just down payment assistance data on listing reports for you and for your clients. You also have access to Down Payment Connect for free, which is the crux of what we've been talking about today. Log into your MLS dashboard, click on the Down Payment Resource button on that dashboard, and your Down Payment Connect link will be waiting for you. And again, to recap, whether you get it for free or you subscribe at downpaymentresource.com/DPC, you are getting your own personalized landing page, where consumers can search for down payment help. No limit to the traffic or leads you can generate. We encourage you to use it in all of the ways that you saw today. And it comes with marketing support, marketing tools, and social media training. Loan officers, again, just to reiterate, there is a version for you that gives you a detailed directory of all programs in your subscribed state or states, and you can customize which programs display. So any questions about Down Payment Resource, feel free to throw them in the Q&A. You can always go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC to learn more. And if you have questions after the webinar, we're going to get to as many as we can right now, but you can reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. So with that, I'm going to pause here, and Veronica, Marcy, Will, what's going on in chat? What's going on in Q&A? Any trends that we can address or questions you want to throw out there first?
Hey, Sean, real quick, we continue to get questions in regards to the recording and slides from today's webinar, if they will be provided afterwards to the email addresses that was used for registering for today.
Yes, we have recorded, and we will send out the recording and slides and some additional resources by maybe as late as Tuesday. We've got some marketing team out, and Monday is a holiday, but we will get that to you in a matter of days. Yes.
So, Sean, what I am seeing is a common theme about how to package, and I presume it's meant how to really sell the idea of DPAs when so many sellers might be looking to kind of wrap up the transaction rather quickly, how to kind of confront any pushback there.
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's to the person or people that are asking, that's a question and a concern, a legitimate concern that we do address in more detail in another webinar coming up soon. I'll give you a glimpse into at least our current answer. Leverage your loan officer first and foremost. And for all of you loan officers listening in, this is what we're hearing from realtors all over the country. The loan officers that know these programs well, when they see a loan app come in the door with a DPA, they know, okay, we've got our 30-day timeline or 28-day timeline, whatever the timeline is. If I know my DPA well, I'm going to get that transaction done just as if it were any other. So that probably needs to be communicated to the seller, or more appropriately, the seller's agent. The listing agent is often the one informing the seller and convincing them that DPAs or FHA offers and things like that are less worthy of their attention. So I would say leverage your loan officers and engage the seller and the seller's agent and let them know that, hey, look, this borrower is just as ready to go as any other. Also, don't over disclose. That's another thing we hear from real estate agents all over the country in the last year, especially. Don't over disclose source of funds and financing. Now, you're all in different states all over the country. Every state is different, and we can't sit here and go through state law, disclosure law and so forth, contract law for every state. But if you don't have, to the extent that you don't have to disclose source of funds and gifts and so forth, then don't. Whatever you have to disclose, obviously do it. Whatever you don't have to disclose, it's not the seller's business. That's our take. So those are a couple things to get that answer started, but we acknowledge and understand that's a legitimate concern. And quite frankly, we think that part of the solution here is education for listing agents. Let them know that, hey, my loan officer knows these programs and you're closing on time. Sometimes it's just a matter, and I'll add to that, sometimes that mentality is a byproduct of a bad past experience with the down payment program. And that may have been misinformed by someone who wasn't savvy with the program. Expectations weren't set. Sometimes the DPA gets blamed for delays. Never mind the fact that it was something completely unrelated, a title delay, an appraisal issue. So don't blame the DPA if the DPA isn't delaying a transaction. Do the things you can up front, complete homebuyer education, get pre-approved, get all the underwriting non-property related conditions out of the way, including anything related to a DPA. And then, a loan officer that knows what they're doing will see that as a transaction like any other. So hopefully that helps. That was a lot, but we get into more detail in other webinars. Will, Veronica, Marcy, what else? Any trends here that you've been answering?
Just several people asking, how do they get started with Down Payment Connect?
Yeah, so a couple of ways. Let's start with, if you're an MLS partner, let me go back a ways here in the slides to the appropriate slide. So I'll start here. So if your MLS is listed here, and again, we have several MLSs coming on board here shortly that we'll be announcing in the coming weeks. But if your MLS is listed here, then go to your MLS dashboard, which looks different for everybody, but here's a couple of examples. Click on the down payment resource button, and that takes you to your DPR dashboard. At the top of that page is your Down Payment Connect link. Right under it are buttons to supporting resources. If you are not a member of one of those MLSs, then go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC, and you can see a feature grid, product videos, pricing, and more. It's $24 a month for real estate agents, $39 a month for the loan officer version. And we're happy to answer any further questions, once you take a look at that page. What else? I see a question in here about, Veronica, looks like maybe you were addressing this, about getting a renter list or tenant list. That's not really our wheelhouse. That's outside our expertise. I mean, we can tell you how to market to them when it comes to down payment assistance. As for how to get or acquire lists of tenants, that's not our expertise, quite frankly. I don't have a better answer.
Thank you for that. Also, there was a question in regards to, does the lead also feature the pre-qual info since it's going through mortgage as well? Are we auto-connected to the awarded mortgage broker?
We are not. So two things. We are not awarding or connecting a mortgage broker or lender to your lead. That is your domain. We leave that to you on purpose. When you get a lead from Down Payment Connect, it has only come to you. And the idea is you've got your own network, or you will build your own network of loan officer partners that handle all manner of business, whether it's luxury, manufactured, whatever. This domain being down payment assistance, probably largely first-time home buyers. When you've aligned yourself with a lender that you trust that does these loans well, your opportunity is to refer these incoming Down Payment Connect leads to that partner or to those partners. So I forget the rest of the question, but I think I addressed most of it. Veronica, who asked that? Let me see the rest of the question. Well, I forget now, but so yeah, we aren't connecting to lenders. You are. We are connecting the lead to you, and then I see. Here we go. So does the lead also feature the pre-qual info? No, because we have not run it through a lender. We are not a lender ourselves, and we're not connecting your client to any lender. That's for you to do. We leave that to you on purpose so that you control where those referrals and your relationships with your referral partners and so forth, and they will do the pre-qualification and pre-approval once you refer them to a lender. I see Jim has asked, where in the MLS listing does it tell you that the home is, I think you mean eligible for down payment assistance? So we cover that in other webinars too, but basically look for, let me pull up a down payment button here. So got one in here somewhere. Oh, let's see. Don't have the little, okay, so, oh, here we go. I'm sorry. So look for this. If you are a member of one of our MLS partners, then if you want to see if a listing is eligible within your listing platform, whether it's Matrix, Paragon, Flex, whatever system you're on, look for this button on agent single line, agent one line, agent detail reports, and also your clients will see this button on eligible properties on in the client portal, Collab Center. Again, I'm trying to reference all the different MLS platforms out there, but look for this button. That's telling you that that listing is eligible. And then Down Payment Connect is kind of separate. That's outside the MLS, outside the listing system. Down Payment Connect is what you can use to engage buyers before they're already talking to you, or before they are clients, rather.
Hey, Sean, we have someone asking if you can elaborate on the membership fee and benefits.
So if you are a member of one of our MLS partners, your MLS is our customer. There is no upsell or freemium. You don't pay any additional, subscription fee or anything for the entire down payment resource tool set, including Down Payment Connect. That is if you are a member of one of our MLS partners. If you are not, then you can see the pricing, and it's super simple. It's $24 a month for the real estate agent version. It's $39 a month for the loan officer version. That's all available at downpaymentresource.com/DPC. And it shows you all of the things that you get. Your landing page, the marketing resources, for loan officers, the ability to see programs and details across your market, control which ones display to consumers, and so forth. But all of that is available for our members of our MLS partners, or at least the real estate version of that, for free as part of your membership with that MLS. So we don't have freemiums, we don't have upsells, none of that. If you're a member of our MLS partners, it's free. And if not, you still have the option to use the tool set and subscribe to it at downpaymentresource.com/DPC.
And we have someone asking, do or can all lenders service any of the identified programs? If a DPA program is seasonal or not currently funded, will it be excluded from the search results?
So no, not every lender participates in DPAs, and lenders no lender who participates in DPAs offers every last one of them. So there is a decision to be made by the lending organization as to which programs work for them that they're going to offer. That's going to be different by lender. So that's also why it's important that we tell you who the participating lenders are, so you can go interview them and figure out who your needs align best with. But also, it might be worth having 2 or 3 lenders that you work with, because they may offer different kinds of down payment assistance programs, some from the state, some from cities, some from nonprofits, and so forth. As far as how to connect with a lender, so that's a great question. I'll give you a couple of ways. If you're looking to find lenders or loan officers that offer these programs, let me give you a couple of ways. First, you can always look in Down Payment Connect. When you get a lead, click the name of any program in that lead. We show you who the participating lenders are. You can link to it and see on that program provider's website who offers their program. You can also, if you're a member of our MLS partners, click that down payment button on eligible listings if you're just looking at listings to see what's out there. And again, we tell you who the participating lenders are when you drill down into the details of any program. It's the first thing we show you. If you are maybe new to DPAs or not a member of one of our MLS partners, then one way to do this is to go to start with your state housing finance agency. Go to their website. They all publish a list of participating lenders. Many of them break that down by loan officer, and many still break that down by top producers. And sometimes they'll even break that down by region or district within the state. Your state housing finance agency is a great way to start, or a great place to start, and a great place to go look for the lenders that offer these programs, and then find maybe even top producers who are really good at this, do higher volume, and probably want your business. And contact them, reach out to them. Loan officers, if you're on the call listening in, it's the most common question we get. Get out there and talk to real estate agents and let them know which DPA programs you offer and that you offer them at all, and engage in that dialogue. Because as you can tell here, and I'm seeing this over and over in the Q&A and the chat, realtors are looking for loan officers who offer these programs. Lastly, I'll tell you, call the program provider. Call the nonprofit, the city, the housing finance agency, and ask them, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I'm working with first-time home buyers. I like your program. I need the help of a loan officer that I can trust. And they'll probably be happy to refer you to a list of LOs that they get the best files from that close on time. So there's a few ways to tackle that problem, but we find that that's successful for those that do the legwork for a day or two and make the connections. There was a question here that I want to address. Mary asked, is Miami Realtors not a partner? Discussions have happened. Mary, happy to continue those discussions, but support from members would help, as with anybody else who's interested in getting their MLS on board and didn't see their MLS on the partner list. So we got a lot of questions here, guys, and we've been trying to get to as many as we can. We're coming up against the end of our time here. In fact, we've gone over. Let's go Marcy, Veronica, then Will. One last question you want to address, and then anything else, guys, reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. But Marcy, one last question you want to address here?
Let's see. Do only certain listings qualify for down payment assistance?
Great question. It looks like from Aaron. So down payment assistance programs will almost universally allow single family detached. Most will allow condos or townhomes. In many markets, it does depend on the program. Many will allow manufactured homes, and some markets 2 to 4 unit residential properties. So long as the buyer's going to own or occupy that property. It's got to be their primary residence. Not for farm, not for raw land, not for the purchase of investment properties or second homes or vacation homes. So Veronica, you got one last favorite one you want to address here?
I saw a few cases where there was a question in regards to if there's any issues with a website, it crashes or something happens, where do they email? Who do they contact for IT assistance? And of course, it's info@downpaymentresource.com. Reach out, make us aware of the issue, of course.
Yep.
Anything else, though?
Well, we have for years experienced something better than 99.7% uptime. But yes, if you have an issue with your page, or a lot of times people need help with something like iframing. We're not real estate website builders. That's not our domain, but we're happy to try to help to the extent that we can. But yeah, for things like that, reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. Will, you have one last one you want to address here?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the individual is still with us, but I think it's agent related. It said the intake form on the DPR link inquired if the prospect is working with an agent. Per ethics, we can't work with clients that have an agent. how should agents reply when we receive that particular submission?
That's a great question, and that's precisely why the question is asked and is there for you. On the lead form, the consumer enters first name, last name, email address, phone number, and they do have the option to indicate contact preference, email or phone, as well as whether or not they're currently working with an agent. That question is there for you so that if they answer it, you can reply accordingly based on, your brokerage, your MLS, or your state's law. So that's going to differ by state. I can't speak for every state, but if they tell you they already have an agent, then obviously you know how to reply. So with that, guys, thank you all for joining. We still have a huge audience here. We appreciate you all sticking around for Q&A. I apologize. There's no way we could get to all of these questions. They are still coming in. So we encourage you to reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. I will one more time flip to our MLS partners so you can see who they are. You have everything you saw here today for free, no upsell, if you are a member of one of these MLSs. And again, we have several more coming. So we'll be announcing those in the coming weeks. If your MLS is not listed here, we welcome an introduction and some dialogue with them or their association, and happy to accept that introduction from you. And then if you have anything else or need anything else from us, reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com and or subscribe to Down Payment Connect if you don't have it through an MLS at downpaymentresource.com/DPC. So have a wonderful day. We'll get the recording and some additional resources out to you by Monday or Tuesday at the latest. And have a great day. Go out and be creative and have fun. Thank you.